Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I have a new Zone Wars for you guys, and this one is a little bit different than my last one. And what you're seeing on screen now is one thing you have to do before you start the game, and you have to step on two of these different pads to get the zones moving. They are marked by those two little red notes right there, and that's just so that you know when these zones are done moving, and that way it will kind of give you a little audio notification. And the other one is right on over here, and then you just start the game right up, and I'm gonna kind of play through the entire match, or like what it would look like. And this is kind of just a test. I want to get your input from you guys, as giving this to as many people as possible is the best way to figure out what's wrong with it and what can be improved on. So make sure to leave some comments down below on what you think we should change as well as add. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the video. Once you spawn into the map, you can throw a football down this hole, but if you don't have a football, you can always just throw a tomato or any of the other kind of items, and that will start the match. And there's a zone here that will follow you, and it's a straight a limb, so if you do get hit by it, you will end up dying. You'll have to wait till the end of the match to get back in. Now, a couple things that we were aiming for with this map is a little bit different than the last one. As you can see, it's a lot more linear and there's not really as many possibilities. So a big thing we were trying to tackle is people going too far into the map without the zone really getting there. And we have like some zones set up, which you'll see here in a second, and those were the ones that you had to toggle before starting the match, as they'll stop you from going too far until the map catches up, and then it will unlock that area for you. And it's kind of just a way to slow down players and make sure the game is moving at the right pace. Now, after that, we do have two different kind of other ways we did it. One where we just kind of left it unregulated. And then after that, you'll see the zones kind of crisscross to the point where by the time you get there, it's kind of moving fast enough that it should immediately send you the other way. Now you're about to see the changeover as this zone will end. And then in a couple seconds here, you'll hear the audio noise, and this zone that is going back and forth will disappear. Now at this point, the other zone will move out from this back wall, starting to push you towards the other side of the map. Now what's pretty cool is we do have some natural mountains and such in some of these zones, so it does give you that practice going up the large terrain that you typically see inside of a normal game. Now, the only reason that we kind of didn't want to go towards a map like this was because of the less possibilities that you have with movement and different routes to take, as you really only have one path. Like I said before, it's a linear map. So I do want your guys' opinion. Do you like this style, or would you rather me work more on the map that we typically see, as we can try to work on something to work with that style? It's going to be a lot harder, but we will work on it if you guys think that is the better option. But I do want to thank Thieves and Bun for helping me with this, because we actually spent a lot of time trying to work on the zones, because they kind of trigger each other, and getting it all set up to work in good order was pretty difficult. These things are not the most fun thing to work with. So we did the best that we could, so expect some bugs, and if there are, just make sure to let us know, and we want to work on this and at least try to get a better understanding of how to make this map better. And especially with a lot of you guys playing it, and I'm sure a lot of people will be playing it in my Discord, testing it out and such, make sure to give it a try. There is a couple things that I do want to mention. There is infinite ammo and infinite mats, so it's kind of just a test. We're wanting to see what really works the best, and we'll see how everything ends up. So make sure to give it a test and let me know your feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. So as it gets towards the end of the map, you'll see these zones kind of speeding up and kind of taking a different path, or I guess a different way of closing and going into the next hallway. And that's kind of what we're testing as well, making sure that whatever one works the best we'll go for. And they're a little bit faster to kind of get that late game, quick changing and movement in. And it will be a lot different when you're fighting players, because this is going to be a 16-player lobby. So you kind of have to realize that I am moving slow in this, but when you're fighting other players and having to rotate smartly, it's a lot harder. Now in this, we do have max or infinite mats as well as infinite ammo. So it's a lot different than what you'll see probably in the final version. but this is what we're testing because we're not sure how the maps are really going to work, but we'll give it a try. Now the end game is using a damage thing, so it does kind of tick like a realistic end game, which you'll see here in a second, which I think is pretty awesome and works a lot better than the other map that we have. And that's going to wrap up the video there, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to leave me some feedback, and I'll see you all in the next one.